What's up, everybody? Should have done this before I went live, but I didn't. I'm an amateur. What's up? Let's make this bigger somehow. How's it going? Sorry. Good morning. Good morning. What's everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend? Mine was way too short. Last weekend was really long, and I think the difference was like going out and doing something on a Friday night. Weekend felt really long. This past weekend just over. What's up? What's up? Jason, Casey, EDC Wyoming. I know your name. Josh. What's up, everybody? Yo, Brazen. Long time no see. Long time no see. We need to play Rocket League. Look at this. I have my gaming rig back at the office. The old gaming rig. So, very, very soon I'm going to play some more Rocket League. Hell, I might play some Rocket League today. Just don't tell Alex. Going hard with the Apple Watch? Yeah, man, I'm struggling with the watch situation. What's up, Yvonne? I see my aunt here. How is everybody? Smoky Mountain Knife Works, what's up? I guess it helps when I tell people I'm actually going to go live, doesn't it? You guys are busy this morning. Hey, Brazen, if you're around today, let's do some Rocket League. I'm serious. I'll move my monitor right here and I'll just play right here. I'm so ready. It's been months since I've played any video games, really. I played a little bit, but not much. I used to game a lot before I had kids, and ever since Eleanor was born, it's really fallen off a lot. I played a lot more once she got a little older, but since having another kid, it's definitely tapered a lot. Yes, I play Rocket League. The last time I played, I want to say a few divisions short of champ. It was like Diamond 3, Division 3 or 4, I think. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. It's been a long time. First time catching live, pumped to be here. Glad you're here, Swim Dude. Smoky Mountain, I'm doing great. I don't know who's behind the account right now, but I'm doing great. I need to come visit you guys. I really do. In fact, I'm going to be heading to the mountains, I think this weekend. Maybe. Like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I think. And then I might swing by. Taco Twins. I like that name. Monday Morning Miscellaneous. That's not bad. A lot of the recommendations for the name for the stream have been not great. Not great. 6-Shooter Stallion. Good morning, Taylor. Just submitted one of the first times. Hopefully fit into next week's theme. How do we know what the theme is before the episode? I didn't pick a theme because I don't know when the next EDC Weekly is. In theory, it should be every week, but for the last 2 weeks, we've done them, and they take up over half a week. So it's really hard to squeeze it in when I've got other obligations. And frankly, I just need a break every once in a while from something that takes almost an entire week to produce. So we're working on it. Megan is getting much better at editing, and it's speeding things up for me. So in due time, it will be back to a weekly show, but we've just got to get some kinks ironed out. And I really want to nail down the format. I don't like them being 30 minutes long because that is a very long video. It makes it way harder to edit, and fitting in the news and the carries. There's something off with the format right now, and I gotta fix that. Danny, good to see you. Thank you for the $5. What's up, big guy? Not much, just chilling on a Monday. Like, I really enjoy doing this. kind of wanted to go live again last week. It's just fun. I like hanging out with you guys. So maybe there will be more than just Monday mornings, just some sporadic ones from time to time. But Monday morning is definitely going to happen every week. Unless something, like if I'm going camping next week, unfortunately, I might have to miss Monday, which sucks. But, I mean, maybe I can go live from the woods. If there's enough service, that'd be cool. TC, hey, we need to reconnect, man. We need to reconnect. You need to DM me, and we'll reconnect either through your personal or Smoky Mountain, or email me. I've been a little busy since Blade. Blaine D, did you know that there are more deaths from hippopotamus attacks than lion or tiger attacks? Doesn't that feel suspicious? Fact. Yeah, I actually knew that they were pretty dangerous, but how many people are getting attacked by hippopotami? Robert, you like them long, you think they're good now. Yeah, 30 minutes is great if you like watching a 30-minute video, but I don't like editing a 30-minute video. A couple weeks ago, I think the EDC Weekly from 2 weeks ago was like 40 minutes or pushing 40 minutes. We literally worked on that video from Monday to Friday. I planned it out. We shot it on Tuesday or Wednesday. Megan edited it most of the day Wednesday, all day Thursday, part of the day Friday, and then I picked up to finish the edit on Friday, and I was here until 7 p.m. I was here 8 until 7 on Friday. Sucked. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not complaining about like my job or what I get to do for a living, but the EDC Weekly is just way more work than it needs to be and what most people think it is. And I think there are some efficiencies that we can hone in on that will make it better. We've talked about live streaming it, which could be fun. I've done it in the past, and it went okay, but it requires a ton of planning and organizing and me staying on task for a live stream, which is historically not feasible. But if I live streamed it, there's no edit. All the editing is done beforehand. It's just a matter of me sticking to the plan, which I'm not good at. What's up, Joe? Good to see you here. Mailer Sharton. Thanks for that. Going to do more from the vault. Yeah, I need to do more of those. Maybe that's something I can't do it this Friday because I have a scheduled video that I've worked with a company on. So I can't do it this Friday, but from the vaults are something that I keep forgetting about them, but yeah, they're there. There's a lot of them. I think there's another 30 or so. Okay, Carlton Hanks, good morning. I have a question that maybe the community can help me with. I'm considering a Guardian 3 for EDC, but not sure what steel option to go with, N690 or AEBL. If you're not worried about rust, I think AEBL it's a tool steel, but I mean, that means it's carbon. I'd go with that. I think it's going to look better over time. It's a really tough steel. I go AEBL. And just make sure you patina it and keep it from rusting, and you're going to be very happy with that, in my opinion. Go live camping. We see the kids too. I would not be taking the kids camping this time. This is a test run I'm doing a backpacking trip in October. Another one. Just to kind of test myself, push myself, and see where I'm at compared to the last time I went backpacking, which was a massive disaster. But this camping trip is me testing out hammock camping and some of the gear I have for backpacking. I'm not going backpacking, but I'm taking the truck and all the gear that I'm going to be using backpacking and just trying it out, getting familiar with it. And also maybe hiding something in the woods for people to go find. Any plans to bring back Whiskey Knife Fight? I know this is going to be asked a bunch. It is. Anytime I do anything online, same for Jeremy. And like, if we do anything, people are asking about Whiskey Knife Fight. I talked to Jeremy for the first time in a while on Friday or Saturday, and yeah, we want to bring it back, but we are both extremely busy. I'm the busiest I think I've ever been, and I've remained pretty busy throughout my entire adult life. but I am the busiest I've ever been right now, with having 2 new people working under me, expanding. I have a new office that's about to be put together next door, like through this wall. Trying to get carry commission up off the ground, trying to do the engine swap on the Land Rover. Like, I'm being pulled in so many directions. It's my own fault. It's not a bad thing. I'm glad I'm busy, but Whiskey Knife Fight just kind of takes the back seat to a lot of this stuff because we don't make money doing it. We just do it for fun, and we both have to coordinate our schedules, and we're both busy. So, yeah, we want to bring it back. We will. Probably not in full force right away, but at some point in the future, we will be bringing it back. Just give us some raw videos sometimes. Hiccups and bloopers are great. We don't have to lack at editing. Yeah, well, I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I hate when I miss something in an edit. I hate it. I think about it for days, and my goal as a creator from the very beginning has been to make every video better than the last, and that isn't always possible, but I try. So what that means is that, like, taking my foot off the gas and pulling back the curtain a little bit is hard for me. Obviously, I'm human, and I don't mind, making errors in some ways. But with edits, it's something preventable, and it just irks me when I mess something up. So, yeah, it's a challenge for me to kind of lower the quality in any way. I don't know. I should be okay with it, with like minimum viable products and stuff, but I struggle with that with video because I try to be so good with it, and I could be much better than I am, but it's hard. Once you like get better at something, it's hard to like be okay, at least for me, be okay with not being as good, in order to get out more content. I am a huge believer in quality over quantity. Would I like to have higher quality and higher quantity? Absolutely. But for me, it's about improving the quality before improving the quantity. But bringing people in is why I'm trying to get both up there. I do have a discount code for the TPT slide from Big Idea Design. If you want my topo version, I don't have a discount for that. But the plain stonewash and black one, you can use carry on, one word, CARRYON, and that'll get you 10% off. Personally thought that 30-minute video was one of our best. Thank you. I feel like it went pretty well. It was hard for me to wrap my head around doing the video on Friday because I didn't want to come off as like a jerk. I didn't want to be like critiquing people because people carry different things. And the one from Friday, I've been thinking about doing it for a long time and trying to do it in a way that was like delicate enough to where I wasn't being mean and still, having fun with it. I think I hit that right. I was trying to, include people and not be mean about how much they carry and what they carry. Like it's always towing a fine line with that. It's easy to just gush over really expensive, nice, rare gear, but it's harder to get excited over just mundane stuff sometimes. So that's one thing I've struggled with. Like, I like seeing gear and the setups and the different layouts and everything, but when the gear is stuff that I've, had in my cabinet and haven't touched for 6 months, it's hard for me to get excited over it. So it's easy for me to just get into the habit of always featuring really nice, rare, custom stuff. But that alienates people who like to see the budget videos and the different stuff that's not always like really fancy, expensive stuff. So finding that balance and also like reminding myself that not everything has to be, really high-end, rare, exclusive stuff in the videos is it's been tricky for me in a couple of ways, but that's neither here nor there. AEBL is a stainless steel. Okay, I thought it was a tool steel. Okay, AEBL. I'm not a metallurgist at all. Many of you already know that. Been loving the Tough Clip. Yeah, dude, the Tough Clip. That's not a product that I was just like, I want to put my logo on that. No, Jamie showed me the Tough Clip like 6 months ago probably, and I absolutely love this thing. It is so simple. It's such a simple design, but it works so well. This is easily, like no joke, no cap, I'm not saying this to sell any more of them because I don't have any more to sell. This is my favorite way to carry my keys, period. It doesn't come off my belt loop. My keys don't come off of it. It's just stupid simple, and I love it. Andrew or Brazen, I think doing a Monday morning hangout stream is a great idea. I agree. I really enjoy this. And it makes me excited to get in here in the morning. I don't really struggle with getting in here Monday mornings. I don't ever really regret or dread coming to work, but this makes me excited to come in on Monday mornings because I know, kind of what to expect. I get to hang out for a little bit and call it work, which that's awesome. That's sick. Kyer Ackerman, do you still have a good opinion about the Vox Dapper knife? I think it's a really cool knife. I love Jesper Voxen's designs. He's, as I've said a million times, a master of ergonomics, and that knife is no different. There were some quality control issues that came out after I made my video about it, and hopefully they fixed those. I didn't have any personal issues with mine. There was some like lock rock on some just wouldn't lock up properly at all. There was lock slip on some of them, so it was definitely an issue with the liner lock, but I didn't have any issues. I had great lockup, perfect blade centering, and I don't know if that's because they wanted to make sure that I got a good one, so they, triple checked to make sure that mine was fine, but I don't know. I can't speak to that, but I liked the knife. I go through periods of liking really big knives, really small knives, and that was sent to me in a time where I was really carrying bigger knives, so I didn't carry it a ton, but I liked it. I'd throw it in the pocket from time to time. Casey Jones says, I'm a functionality type of guy, but I do like collecting and aesthetics too. But as far as EDC and what I actually carry, go by what's been time tested. Yeah, so it's funny because I take pictures of what I'm carrying a lot, but it's not always everything that's in my carry. Like, maybe it's cheating, but I never include my AirPods. My AirPods are literally always in my pocket, but I don't like how they look in photos, so I don't include my AirPods. I don't include my truck fob. I don't include, a few things. So I make some changes for the aesthetic, but what you see on Instagram is usually exactly what's in my pockets. Not always. Sometimes I'll do a My Carta Monday and, throw it together before the carry, but it's typically what I end up putting back in my pockets after I take the photo. I try to be pretty above board with everything. Sir Knight, any ideas on making more Topo stuff? Take my money. I'm actually trying to get away from Topo everything not because I don't like it. I don't love it to the degree that a lot of people think I do. Rick and I did some Topo stuff in his shop once or twice, and then it just stuck and people started requesting everything to be Topo. So we did that. And, yeah, I don't want everything to be Topo. I don't think this is going to be the last Topo product, but I'm not going to be doing Topo on everything all the time moving forward. Yeah, I think in moderation Topo is great, but it has definitely been a staple of Carry Commission, and I want to, experiment with different things. You guys are chatty this morning. I can't keep up. I'm vain. I do carry fancy stuff, but I hardly use them. I use whatever's in my pocket for sure. I don't care how expensive it is. Like if I buy it, I plan on using it for sure. Alex Bogg, I've been into EDC for about a year. Problem being on the other side of the world from the U.S. is that I'm from Israel. Getting quality gear is hard. Why do gear makers refuse to ship overseas? A lot of the time, especially when it's knives get swept up in customs a lot. I've sent knives to Germany a few times, and they just get swept up in customs, and that's that. Like, you're out a knife or I'm out money, and, I think the maker would rather the customer not have to be out their money and a knife, so they send the money, and then the maker's out. So it's just kind of a thing where customs, certain countries don't allow you to send locking knives in. So if you're talking about knives specifically, that's probably it. But I don't know. Every company's different. Eric Huluzak, thanks for the $5. He said, "Good morning, sir. Read recommendations for a home inspector who pokes houses constantly." Red? I don't know. Tough tip, bright handle, so it shows them photos in smooth action. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking for. I'm guessing a knife. For a home inspector who pokes houses constantly. I'd stick with something like Hinderer. I just think of Hinderers as being really tough, hard-used knives. You could get a ZT Hinderer design, maybe. But tough tip, you're going to probably want something, maybe a Tonto, my guess. When will the Topo Tough clips be available again? I need to talk to Jamie. We're definitely doing another run, for sure. Hi, Taylor. What's your opinion of the Kaiser Sheepdog XL? It's my favorite knife now, even over my Spider Grip military and more expensive knives. Love the show, Jake from South Africa. Wow. Kaiser Sheepdog XL is a big knife, and not big in just length. It's just fat and wide, and it's a big knife. My problem with most cleaver style blades that I've run into is I end up cutting a lot of zip ties. And if you've got a wide blade with not much of a point, you've got to like get just the tip inside that zip tie and pop it, and it's not good for that. Or cutting rope in that same fashion. Good for opening boxes and chopping things, but when you're trying to get in there and do some fine work, that's why I stopped carrying cleavers. Yeah, I know you should probably just use snips or scissors or something for zip ties, but I don't always have those on me. I always have a knife. So that is why I was carrying a Berg Slim, and I was trying to cut zip ties one day. And this was after poker. One of the mods in the Discord was telling me about him not being able to cut a strap or something with his sheepdog, I think it was. It dawned on me. I was like, wow, I can't cut most of what I end up cutting with this knife. So I got rid of it, and I haven't really carried many cleavers since. John Moore says, I see you've been wearing an Apple Watch. How do you like it? It's better than it used to be. It's definitely better than it used to be. The apps on here are actually really handy now. I like having the timer just one tap away and the weather, but that's really all I use it for, and fitness. Those three things: weather, timers, fitness, and the time. I don't really use the notifications, so I could get by with much less for sure. But I wanted to try it out because I've been wearing a Garmin for a while. I'm still a bigger fan of analog watches than this, but it's hard to deny the functionality of something like this on your wrist. If you mute all the notifications. I'll get texts on it, but that's really all I get on the watch. And for that, I like it. But the problem I have with it is I love that the Garmin watches I had a Phoenix 6S Pro. I don't know. I can't remember which Phoenix I had. And then I have the Garmin Instinct Solar, and both of those had really, really great battery life. The Phoenix would last like 2 weeks on a charge, and the Instinct would last almost a month on a charge. And if you're outside a lot, even longer. This charging it every day, absolutely by far my least favorite thing about the Apple Watch. So I hate that it has to be charged all the time. Someone asked me about Nicholas Coulter. Are you planning on doing a video about the top 5 knives that bring you joy? It would be great for an episode to break up the EDC vids. Like 3-4 weeks ago, I did a video on my top 10 knives, like the ones I carry the most. So I've been seeing that top 5 knives thing going around, but I literally just made that with 10 knives instead of 5. And as long as it takes me to make videos, I'm not going to remake one for that. Sorry. I am weeks behind on videos I need to make. Okay. I'm trying to get caught up here. I'm way behind. Why would they have Instagram on the Apple Watch? I don't get all the apps. Like, I have so many apps on this thing. Come on. So many apps. And I use Spotify on here. Like, when I'm driving, I'll change my music on the watch, or when I'm working out, I'll change it. But all these different apps, I don't use them for anything. And half of them, like the LifeX app, I've connected it to the phone so many times to control my lights. Every time I open it up, I have to reconnect, and it says, turn on your phone to use this. It makes it totally useless. Same with my truck app. I can't start my truck or anything from the watch. Totally useless app, because every time I open it, it tells me to log in from the phone. So I have to pull an app up on my watch, log in from my phone, and then I can do it. It doesn't make any sense. Totally useless. And that's how I feel about a lot of the apps, but the few that I do use are really nice. One that I would probably use more as time goes on, if I keep wearing this, is Authy. So a two-factor authenticator that I just have on my wrist, just tap it. That's really handy. But things that are quick and don't need a lot of interaction are the best apps. Am I a fan of the Ridge wallet type of wallets? I think they're all right. I have a couple of Ridge wallets, some similar but different wallets. I typically prefer, if I have a hard wallet, I typically prefer my Giltech Raw, which is one piece. I don't have any problem with the Ridge wallets at all. I like how you can customize them, but right now I'm carrying, I don't even know if I can show this. This is a Hubei 2.0, but you probably noticed that it's a little different than the one I was carrying last week. That's really all I can say. Raylight Pineapple Mini got me through 4 days of power outage last July. Yeah, I bought a Raylight Pineapple Mini, and the switch went out on it. I think it was the switch or the emitter. I don't know. I was talking to Ray, and he sent me some replacement parts because I bought it from somebody in the Discord, and it wasn't working. We diagnosed it through DMs, and he sent me replacement parts. They're on their way. I really like the light, but I can't use it. iMac Death. Yeah, why aren't you a mod on here? There you go. Fixed it. Thoughts on the Dimco 80 20.5 clip point versus Shark's Foot? I like the clip point a lot better. I don't really have any experience with it. The 80 20.5. I played with some Dimco knives at Blade, but I've not actually owned one. Do I carry my truck fob like I used to? Yes. It stays in my fifth pocket, and I have a Haterade bead on it. See if we can zoom in. So this is from Rick over at Z Reviewed. It says Haterade, and it's a glow bead. So it's glow in the dark. How do I spell the brand? This is Open Sea, as in the sea, Open Sea, leather. OPENSEA. What knife is on the live preview pick? That is the Homer Jus T-Rex. It's a custom. I talked about it in my top 10 knives, top 10 most carried. Favorite slip joint so far is the Real Steel Luna. Hard to find now, though. Mine has to be the Birdvis that I have. It's a really good slip joint. How's that for some coffee? It's a 45-ounce blender bottle with some iced coffee in it. Because, you know, I need coffee. Marinin Buttercup. What's up, Michael? How are you? I'm glad you call me Buttercup instead of Sharon or Susan or whatever you usually call me. Brian Druello says, hey, Taylor, any thoughts on the photos you've seen in the thumbnail submission? What? I'm not sure what you mean. TC, if you're in here, just got your email. Thanks for reaching out. still use one of the key holders you used to sell from the mod days. Whoa, what's up, Varesh? Thanks for sticking around and supporting me for so long. That's a long time. Mod in the box days were, what was that, 2014, 2015? Late 2014, we moved to Pennsylvania and moved back early 2015. So it's been 6+ years. Thank you. That's awesome. What's Megan EDCing for a knife? I don't know. Ask Megan. Every time she comes in here, I'm like, hey, you got your knife with you? No, it's in my car. Or no, I left it at home. She doesn't EDC. She comes and steals my knives. She did buy a bug out from me, though. My original bug out that I've had for so long, she bought it from me last week. 45-ounce cold brew. Holy shit, don't die of caffeine overdose. It's not cold brew. This is drip. But I did have a cold brew with a shot of espresso in it on my way in and then drank this. So, yeah, I've had a lot of caffeine today. I woke up feeling very tired. So I'm not doing keto, but I am going very low carb, and I've been very tired for the last 2 days. Really tired. I know caffeine's not really the fix for that, but it is right now. I woke up really, really tired and went to bed really sleepy last night. Everybody should put a bead on their fob. I need to come up with a bead for like truck fobs. Truck nuts for your fob. Hell yes, this is happening. That's a horrible idea. Thumbnail sub in Discord. Oh, yeah, so that was for last Friday's video. My bad. Or no. That was for my Grail EDC video. That was what the thumbnail submissions were for. But I'll keep it open, and if something like this live stream, I can use your photos for the live stream. I forgot about even setting that up, but that's actually a really good point. Moving forward, I'm going to use your photos for the thumbnails of the live streams on Mondays. That's actually a really good idea. Thanks for bringing that back up, because I totally forgot about it. This wallet is not Carry Commission exclusive. No, it is not. I do have AirPod covers, but this is bulky enough in my pocket, and then if you put something over it, it's even bulkier. And yeah, you can get those thin like silicone ones, but then they stick to your pocket when you try to pull them out, and then everything comes with it. This is the best way to carry them, unfortunately, and this is not good to look at. I don't care about it. Caffeine is the Band-Aid we all need sometimes. True that. Any thoughts on the e-bike yet? I absolutely love it. The problem is every freaking time I come into work, instead of riding that, I drive my truck. I bought it to drive here, ride here every day, but I always need to bring stuff with me. Like I'm bringing my lunch and this giant bottle of cold brew or coffee or whatever. And then I had a box full of stuff to bring in today. Like I just always have something with me. So yeah, I love it, but I need to remind myself to leave stuff here and not take everything home with me so that I can ride my bike. Where are Gene's truck nuts from the old studio? I gave them away as a gift when I moved in here. There's a story behind that, not for this podcast or the live stream. I do not have the truck nuts here. They're in the gym downstairs. Truck nuts would be awesome. You guys have horrible ideas. I mean, it's my horrible idea, but you guys are bad influences. Michael, how are you liking the new office? I love this space, but the next live stream, I'm pretty sure the next live stream will be in a different room. And one of my favorite things to do, just kind of as a hobby, I mean, I'm paying to do it and it's expensive, but one of my favorite things to do is set up offices now. Like I'm not an interior designer. I'm not inclined in that. I just enjoy doing it. And I got a new office on the other side of this wall. We're painting it today, I think. And then I got a whole bunch of furniture for it that we're going to move in, and it's going to look sweet. So it's going to be kind of similar to this one, but a different vibe. The walls are going to be blue, and it's a different scheme, but it's still going to look kind of cigar loungy, but more, I don't know. You'll see. But yeah, love this space. But what happened is I got 2 offices in this location, and this was meant to be the video set, so I can just leave things where they are, and I don't have to tear everything down every time I make a video, because setting up is one of the most time-consuming things. So I was editing everything in the room next door, and then I hired Megan and Joseph, and they took over the 2 desks in that room, and there's not really room for a 3rd desk in there. So I started working from right here, and every day, or anytime I was shooting, I'd have to tear down what I was using to work from, re-put up this video set, and then shoot, and then tear that down and put back how I was working. And that's just a lot of wasted time and effort. So I got the office next door, and that'll be my streaming room and where I work. And this will be the video set and stay as is, and I won't have to mess with it all the time. Yeah, life is getting expensive, or business is getting expensive. Have I checked out the new ARC Company Boulder XL? Yes, he sent one to me, and I got it on Friday, but I opened it up, went to dinner, and then it's just sitting in my truck now. I haven't looked at it since. How have you been liking the Micro Arcadian? Dude, it just kicks everything out of my pocket all the time. I go back and forth basically between 2 flashlights now, and it's this one and the Lau Lima Ion. Basically, these 2 are my favorite lights. I carry more, but every time I put something else in my pocket, I end up going back to these 2. Not at the same time, but. Looking to pull the trigger on a Grimsmo Norseman. Any thoughts? Am I still enjoying mine? It is extremely fun to flip and look at and hold. As a user, I don't mind using it. As I've said, I'll use any knife I carry with me, but it is just funky to use sometimes. I love the knife. I love how it looks. I love everything about it except for the blade shape. Recurve tantos are not my jam, and I just can't find a good way to cut sometimes. Like, you've got to use it in a weird way because of that recurve and the tip. If I could get a drop point Norseman, not a Rask, but a Norseman with a drop point, I'd be so happy, but it'll never happen. The Rask, to me, is less interesting than the Norseman, personally. It's a nice knife. I like it, but it's very plain Jane compared to the Norseman. Like, they are polar opposites in that regard. But I just struggle with cutting things with the Norseman sometimes. Second, the office tour request. Okay, so let me get everything set up. I planned on doing an office tour once I got everything set up in here, and I just never did it. But once we get their editing suite fixed up, this office finished, and that one finished, I'll do an office tour. So probably in the next month, I would imagine. I've been spending getting everything how it should be, and I think we can do an office tour pretty soon. No DC0. I do use the DC0 from time to time, but this kicked the DC0 out of my pocket because it's just about as bright, if not brighter, and smaller. So it doesn't have the runtime, but as an EDC light, this thing's sick. I do like the DC0, but the biggest thing for me that I don't like about the DC0, and I wish I could change this, but this is a clicky switch, and the DC0 is reverse clicky. So I prefer a forward clicky switch. So you click it on, and then you can select your brightness, whereas the DC0 is opposite. You half press to select your brightness, and then full press to turn it on. And then once it's on, you can't change it. So you have to turn it off and turn it back on. So this, I can change the brightness without having to fully depress the button. That's what I like. So that's literally the reason I carry that over the DC0. That, and it's smaller. You look like you're losing weight. Yeah, well, not anymore. I don't know. I've been stuck here for like 3 months. I've been trying to get down to a lower weight and can't. So, have I tried the Maxpedition Prepared Citizen backpack? I have not tried any Maxpedition backpacks. Charles is the man. CWF lights. Yeah, I think it was you who introduced me to Charles, Michael. Any news if I'm going to the gathering? I don't think I am. I forgot to get a ticket, and at this point, I've got so many obligations to get knocked out in the next 2 weeks, I don't think it makes sense for me to go. And then I'm going on vacation a few days after the gathering. So, also, what's the Grail watch? Well, clearly you didn't watch my video from last week. Talked about it. It's a Resonance Type 5. I talked about this in a video last week, guys. What's up with that? How's the shop going? I don't use it nearly enough, but I'm about to. I keep telling myself that, and maybe one day it'll come true. I never know when Okluma's doing a drop, but if you want a light, just DM Jeff. He's a cool dude. He might take care of you. Just saying. Benjamin Garner. Hey, Taylor, I've loved the channel since the beginning. Big congratulations to you and your team. Give Megal and Ben a shout out and tell Megan thumbs up. What's up, Benjamin? The first decent knife I got was probably the Spyderco PM2. How's my overlanding rig? Currently, I am waiting on a conversion kit for engine swapping it to an LS1. So the Land Rover, the head gasket blew, which I kind of expected. Like the guy I bought it from said that the head gaskets had been replaced recently, but I didn't really care because I didn't want to keep the stock engine in it anyway. So I drove it until I couldn't, and I could still drive it now. It hasn't hand grenaded yet or anything, but I'm buying an LS1 with a conversion kit and dropping that in. Probably a 5.3 iron block if I can find one, and trying to just make it sick. But yeah, after that, I've got a roof rack that I need to install, front, rear bumpers, skid plates, and rock sliders. And that's all for now, but I need a lot. It needs a lot of work on the inside. Oh, God. Matthew L., thank you for the $5. Video tour of your full current EDC collection. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it, much less make a video about it. And Benjamin, thank you for the $5. Good looking out, man. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. I am not a deer hunter, no. I've actually never been hunting. Also, I knew the name rung a bell, Benjamin. Or Ben. You're Ben, not Benjamin. Like, you could have talked to me like you know who I am. That's why I was like, is this Ben? It is Ben. What's up, dude? Long time no see. It has literally been like a year or two since I've seen you. Sir Knight, today my wife and I are going for our first ultrasound for our second child. Congratulations. She had a dream it was twins. Bro, Alex had a dream she was having triplets, so. And then she went and paid somebody to tell her that she was going to have 5 kids, so let's not have 5 kids. 4's like max. Oh, speaking of, here's Alex.
Sorry.
Are you? What's this?
That's for UPS.
What about the other stuff?
I mean, one is Amazon Locker and one is the mailbox, but I can't drop off UPS right now, so that's for you.
Oh, well,
To
Joseph's
drop
not
off
for
for
me.
me. Well, that's okay.
All right, you want to say hey?
Not really.
Not really. What's up? There's Alex. You guys want to see Alex more, but she's like,
Where's your camera? Where do I look?
this is the camera.
Hi.
Say hi. Anybody have any questions for Alex? She's got to go quickly because the kids are in the car. We're on a little delay, so it'll be a second. Blade West early October. Yeah, that's more likely to happen, but I'm going backpacking in early October too. All right, too late for questions. Sorry, guys.
Thank you. Come home early today so we can go to Lowe's. Thanks, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Do I still have the solar trailer? I do. Sorry, guys, she already left. She's running errands. Who is Seraphin? Drop all grains, rice, and corn, and you'll lose more weight. I've lost 90 pounds and do fasts. Yeah, so I have dropped to 15% carbs and basically no grains, no wheat, none of that. But yeah, I'm starting to lose weight again, I think. It's basically meat, veggies, and cheese. So it sounds like keto, but it's not. I wouldn't call it keto. Finn, thanks again for the $5. We're all busy. Love to beat Alex at cornhole again. I'll tell her you said, hey, she had to bounce. Am I a JRE bro? I'm not. Boss lady in a video. Yeah, we need to get Alex. I wanted to do a video with Alex, and I think we'll do it. Teddy Baldassar, who's a watch guy, he did a video, I think, asking his girlfriend or wife, like, how expensive things are. And I think I want to sit down with Alex and have her guess how much certain pieces of EDC gear are, just for fun. I think we'll do that probably pretty soon. The trouble now is we've got to get a babysitter just to do the video. Thomas Vu, hey, dude, what's up? Long time. Have I lost weight since 2 or 3 years ago? Yes. I started losing weight about 6 months ago. 150 days, actually, as of today. So I'll go ahead and complete. Look at this. So in Lose It, you got little streaks. If I complete today, I haven't completed today yet, obviously, but 150 days today. So what happened is I woke up, it hit the heaviest, almost the heaviest I've ever been on the scale. I felt like absolute trash, and I made a change right then and there, and I've been tracking literally every single thing I eat since then. Because if I come off that, I start to slip, and it's better for me to just track everything all the time. I don't even think about it anymore, and it's been working until I plateaued about 3 months ago. All right, later, Ben. It's good seeing you, man. Reach out. We'll talk. Yeah, it's keto. I mean, it basically is keto, but I'm not labeling it. I'm not a guy for labels. You hear all these trains? Crazy. Opinion on OTF and Balisong. I don't care about Balisong, but today I really just wanted to carry my Guardian Tactical. If we can get this thing to focus. Hello, focus. Guardian Tactical Recon 035. I really just wanted to carry this today, so I threw this in the pocket. Fasting for a day, yeah, so that's another thing I'm going to be doing soon is a 24-hour fast. Never done it. I've done like 14, 16 hours, 18 hours, but 24 is the next level. Nick Shabazz did that a while back too. What, guessing, like somebody guessing the price of things? Yeah. Bring the whole family. Oh my God. Not right now. Eleanor has entered the terrible 2 phase, and she is... Some days she is tough to handle. Does Alex EDC anything? Not really. She doesn't like knives. Candidly, she kind of thinks EDC is dumb. Is what it is. Any new additions to the whiskey collection? Yeah. Some additions are back at the house, but this barrel whiskey cask strength, this was sent to me by Renegade Provisions, and then I broke open a Macallan 18 bottle this weekend with a friend of mine. He's not really a Scotch drinker, so he just wanted to taste it, and wow, Macallan 18 is great. Also picked up some Old Forester 1910 because I found that. I got some Buffalo Trace. This stuff is actually really good. So I got a big old bottle of Weller. My mom went to Kentucky and brought that back, but while she was there, she got this for me. Kirkland Small Batch. This is from 1792, and this is $20 for a liter. $20 for a liter, and this stuff is surprisingly very good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite whiskey, not by any stretch, but for $20 for a liter, this stuff is stupid good. So yeah, I've added quite a bit to my whiskey collection. The old barrel's full. I need to get some more stuff. I need to build this wall, actually. How's the beast treating me? Bro, that thing is so big. This is what he's talking about. This is the Renegade Provisions Gungnir. It is absolutely massive. Here, this is not a huge knife, but it's not a small knife. This is the Gale Bradley 2. I mean, this is like PM2 sized. This is a massive knife. Massive. Brazenhead says, I'm sure Alex not liking EDC is relatable to like 80% of the EDC community. We all have family and friends who think we're weird AF. Yeah, for sure. I did a Sunday to Sunday fast, only water. Well, Skinny Rogers, that is an apt name. Holy shit. No, thank you. I like food too much, and I just grilled a whole bunch of, or smoked a whole bunch of chicken thighs and some brisket. Long term on the California keyboard. Oh man, that's some dedication there. I have not ridden it in a while. Actually, Eleanor took over the Keen and covered the grip tape with chalk and stuff. That has become her skateboard. You're more of a bourbon, scotch, Canadian, etc. kind of guy. What kind of whiskey is your personal go-to? So it's funny. When I met Jeremy, he was definitely hardcore bourbon guy, and I was hardcore scotch guy. And we just started like talking more about whiskeys and trying things out, and we're both like meeting in the middle. So I'm definitely still leaning towards scotch, and he's definitely leaning more towards bourbon still. But I probably drink bourbon more than scotch now, and I think he drinks scotch more than bourbon, even though I really like scotch more. I feel like I can get more bang for my buck out of bourbon. I was talking about it this weekend. The good sweet spot for bourbon is like $60. Like you can get really, really good bourbon for $60. Scotch, really, for good scotch, you're going to have to go up to like $100. So you're paying almost twice as much to get really good scotch. I'm sure there are good budget scotches, but like $50 is like entry level. $30 is entry level for bourbon. So scotch is just more expensive, and because of that, I end up drinking more bourbon. Sir Knight, I've tried drinking whiskey countless times, and I don't know how you'll drink it straight. Everyone says just give it time, but I don't know. It's not for everybody, but I would say it's probably the selection of whiskey that you have. Try a good high-end scotch, not high-end, but, $100 bottle. And go to a bar. Don't do it at home. Don't buy a whole $100 bottle if you're not into it. That's the pro tip. Go to a bar and try it. You're going to pay more for it per ounce there, but you at least aren't spending a whole $100 on a fifth that you're never going to finish. That's a huge bitch. What, this guy? Oh, no, the knife. They're both big. Like, if I'm just holding both of these up, you could easily think that it's just some sort of, like, practical effect to make things look bigger, like people hold their big fish up closer to the camera. But no, both of these are just freaking massive. Like, these are really big things. I've not tried a Boost Mini Smoke. Looks like an expensive Kaiser Sheepdog XL. Yeah. Furniture question. What brand are my chairs? I have no idea. This one right here was a leather chair given to me by Alex's uncle. And this is something I bought at a local antique mall and overpaid for. It is pleather and it's not comfortable. It just looks nice. It's a Chesterfield, but I don't know who makes it. I can look under the seat. So this actual leather chair is from Miles Talbot, and this is from V or Vi. I don't know. This one I would not recommend. This is really, really nice. Scotch is the only alcohol that is not cheaper in the U.S. than it is in Canada. Well, Scotch is expensive and worth it. Gungnir may be big, but you might be surprised how well it fits in the pocket. Bro, how big are your pockets? This thing, I struggle with it. I struggle with this in my pockets. Like, and I've carried some really big knives. This thing, it's so wide. It's not just the length of it. It's wide. It takes up a good portion of the pocket. I like slender knives, not like the Gent and Trapper from Boker, but this thing's wide. I didn't spend big money on the well. This was like $140 bottle, but it's also 2 liters. What is this? I don't even see 1.75 liters. So I didn't overpay for the Weller, but I wouldn't say the Weller's particularly amazing. I just got it because it was all that was available when my mom was in Kentucky. Michael, any TV shows you're in the middle of? I'm watching Suits again. No, I have not found a TV show that I like or want to watch since I caught up with Peaky Blinders. I don't know what to watch. I don't do superhero stuff. I started rewatching The Flash, but man, it's just so bad. I watched it years ago, didn't realize that they made new seasons, tried to pick it up. And I got like 4 episodes in. I'm like, this is really bad. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to have a show to watch in some downtime, but typically I just watch YouTube. Did I grow up with money? No, not at all. No. I wouldn't say we were, poor or in poverty, but we did not have a lot of money. No. My mom was a teacher. My dad was an engineer, but he was not paid very well as an engineer. I guess. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what his income situation was like. I know that we were very, very stingy and tight. Come visit the CRK headquarters. I'd love to. That'd be really sweet. Am I smoking the meats? Yeah. I tried brisket this weekend. Brisket's tough. It's finicky. But I really, really enjoyed smoking chicken thighs and salmon. Right now, those are my favorites. Compare the knife to a cell phone. The Gungnir. This is an iPhone 11 Pro Max or whatever it is. I mean, this is hard to do, but it's a beefy boy. Weird comment, but the decoration is off the hook. Thanks. I pride myself in what I did with this room. But I'm about to make the next one even better. Maybe, hopefully. We need to get you into Star Wars. That's sorry, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Tri-tip is brisket's baby brother. Okay. Define affordable. Oh, are you answering the affordable knife? Affordable knife, right now my recommendation for, let's say, a sub $75 knife would be a Civivi Nox. It's like the Elementum, but in my opinion, better. Below that, if you're looking like under 50, QSP Penguin is going to be recommended by most everybody. And then if you're going to go even lower than that, get a D2 Rat 2 from Ontario Knife Company. Yeah, Jeremy was trying to talk me through the brisket over the weekend, and I made the first mistake I made was not getting the flat and the tip or the point. What is it? I don't know. I don't know anything about brisket, clearly. I just got a flat, so I didn't get the whole brisket, and it dried out pretty bad. The fat cap wasn't huge, and underneath the fat cap, that meat stayed very moist and very good, but on the tip, it really got super dry. Not tip, but just the thinner piece without any fat cap, it got really dry. So next time, what I was told is put a drip tray in there and a little thing of water. You're going to bring back the shirts with the forest landscape in the background. I'm going to bring out new shirts altogether. I didn't like that one. The one with the big knife on it, I think, is what you're talking about. I'm not sure which one you mean. But yeah, I'm definitely going to bring back more. Just found your channel and starting to pick up a couple things here and there, trying to get into more minimalist wallets. What are some decent ones that won't kill your bank? OpenSea, for sure. Really big fan of his wallets. Redeemed Creations, he makes my wallets. Those are affordable and really nice, but wallets are tricky. Got to quit wearing those skinny jeans. No, I can't wear big jeans because I got thick thighs and short legs, so it makes me look really wide if I don't wear tighter jeans. Yo, Brandon Miniman, thank you for the $5. How are you, man? We need to talk this week. We really need to talk this week. We've been talking about it for a long time. We need to set a time and actually get on the phone and talk. And preferably not about like random stuff. We need to talk. Smoking them meats. Did I spritz? Yes, I spritzed the brisket for like the first 4 or 5 hours, and then I fell asleep because it was 4 a.m. and I'd been up for 22 hours. I was really sleepy and couldn't stay awake. And in the time that I slept, I didn't spritz it, obviously. And when I woke up, the bark hadn't formed because I had the temperature too low. So then I spritzed it and cranked the temperature for a little bit, but then it needed to be wrapped. So it was definitely a learning experience. How tall am I? 5'10". Just to throw it in there, I think it's
Patina.
Maggie, what's up? Thank you for the $5. I love that you're doing so many videos. You make my day. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been trying to increase production for a long time, and I've been just operating at capacity, and it's been nice to be able to increase the amount of videos I make without just killing me. So it's been really nice. Ideally, with this live stream, 2 videos a week, and maybe another live stream, it gets me out there 4 times a week. That's pretty good. And maybe if we get into a rhythm, we can start adding in one more video. I'd like to have 1 shop video every week and then 2 EDC videos. That would be the plan, but that's a lot. We're not there yet, but maybe, in the next 6 months we will. What's next for the Overland build? I answered it a little earlier. I'm going to be dropping in an LS1 into the Land Rover. We went out to shoot an update video, and just everything failed that day. That was like 2 weeks ago. Everything failed, and we just scrapped the video. And then we accidentally wiped the card anyway, so it didn't matter. So we shot a video and then erased it before it ever got edited. Happens sometimes. Thoughts on the Benchmade Bug Out Smoky Mountain Knife Works for the price? I still have somewhere, and I throw this one in the pocket at least a couple times a week. Oh, it's wrapped up somewhere. I like it a lot. I'm also a huge fan of the avocado color pattern. So. How did I get the channel name? That one's easy to answer. Basically, I had a company before this called The Best Damn Coffee, and it was a coffee subscription and a community with it. It's kind of hard to explain it, but if you've ever seen Product Hunt, it was based on Product Hunt, but it was Product Hunt for coffee, basically. So people could submit the coffees that they'd tried and the brands and everything about that, and it was kind of flawed from the start, but it was fun, and it was a big learning experience for me. And I shuttered The Best Damn Coffee, and then a few years later, I'd done some other stuff. And then when I was trying to come up with the channel name, one of the subscribers, and at that time, a Discord mod of mine suggested The Best Damn EDC, and I was like, not bad. And I went with it. It's not my favorite name ever, and I designed this logo in like a few hours. Not the best logo ever, but it's worked. It's worked. It's fine. Do I identify as a pirate? I do not. Do I have more watches or pry bars? Definitely more pry bars. How many knives do I currently own? I don't know. I just sold off a good bit. I've got some more for sale, but I'd say it's somewhere around 80. I definitely don't like to go much higher than that. We need some Best Damn coffee again. Well, it won't be called the Best Damn coffee. Well, the coffee may be, but I can't use the website. I let the domain expire and somebody bought it. But no, I've been working with a local coffee shop, Verb Coffee. These guys. And I think we're going to have their coffee on carry commission and then my own coffee that I'm going to source and help with the roast profile, and it'll be my coffee. We've been talking about that for like 3 years now. More videos is more better, and more videos is way more work, but we're trying. Second, what Brandon said, hey from Asheville, love what you do. Asheville is an amazing place. Hello, Olivia and Brandon. What did Brandon say? Only thing I saw was keep it up. Is that what you're talking about? I guess so. No, it wasn't Roger. Oh, Roger. He's still in the Discord. He's still in there. He doesn't really talk much. Recently ordered a Vanquish Dendrite for a trip I'm going on soon. Still using it. Yes, I don't use it every single day, but that's my gym bag, basically. I throw my stuff in that and go to the gym. And then if we go out with the family or anything, I typically throw that on and empty my pockets more. Do I ever plan on doing any mod style videos again, or is mod completely done? I wouldn't say it's completely done. Maybe I'll bring some back. I want to remake some of the old videos, especially as I get more into more outdoorsy stuff again. You'll see what I mean with that. Like, I am going backpacking and I am documenting that, and that's going to happen on the channel. I've got the overland rig and a few other things. So I've got some stuff that I want to make or remake for that. I'm not just going to re-upload those, but yeah, I think you'll see more mod style, especially as I get into the shop more. I keep talking about the shop. You guys are going to see the shop stuff soon. It'll make more sense then. Renegade says, I've been working on making my video process more streamlined. It's a lot more work than people think. Yeah. I mean, an EDC Weekly, for example, this one wasn't so bad, the one on Friday. I don't know how long Megan edited on that. I would say like 8 to 10 hours, but she's still pretty new at editing. And then I had to spend another 2 to 3 hours finishing it. Took a day or so to plan. Took a few hours to get set up and shoot it, and then to transfer the footage and get everything squared away and ready to go. It was a process. We worked on it a little bit every day and a lot. Like, some days were totally taken up by it, and then some days, part of the day was taken up by it. But yeah, it's a big process. And even the videos where I'm talking about gear and doing like 3 angles and stuff, those are much easier to make in terms of editing and planning and all of that, but they still take a lot of time. The Grail video I actually shot. I planned the Grail video weeks ago, but I shot and edited that in one day. And it was tough. Like, we shot it and I went straight to editing, and I edited until like 7 p.m. So it's possible, but doing a video in a day for me is a struggle sometimes. What is the hardest heavy lifting job you've ever had? Not saying it isn't hard, but lifting especially. So I've had a few like strenuous jobs. Sounds silly, but one of the hardest jobs I ever had was working in a toilet paper factory. It was really a paper processing factory We made paper towels, toilet paper, napkins, all sorts of stuff. And man, my hands. I've grew up with manual labor. I built buildings with my dad, cleared land, tore down trees, ran bulldozers and tractors and stuff. I worked a lot as a kid. But that job, my hands hurt so much. I've never had sore hands. Like, right, you do curls and you get sore biceps. But my hands, the muscles in my hands were so sore from that job because so the toilet paper would come into the factory on like a 6-foot tall roll. It's 12 feet wide. They'd load that into the machine and it would spin it into individual rolls and cut it in the process. My job was to break those 24 rolls apart, right? So they're 6 inches long, 12 feet to 24 rolls, and break them apart and glue them and then pack them into boxes. And I had to build the boxes, glue the rolls, cut them or break them apart and stack them. And they rolled out of the machine every probably 30 to 45 seconds. And to load the boxes and get everything squared away was like a 1.5-minute process. So you're always behind. There's always just piling up in front of you and just loading constantly. You were working at a breakneck pace for 8 hours straight. And that job sucked. It sucked really bad. I did that for about 3 months. Third shift while going to school full time. Would not recommend at all. Yo, Alex, what's up? I'm going to add you as a moderator too. So that job was not like lifting heavy. It was just the pace that I worked. The biggest lifting job I had, surprisingly, was working at Lowe's. I worked at Lowe's Home Improvement. I worked in millwork, building materials, and the lumber yard. And yeah, that was a lot of lifting. Somebody come in and order, 80 bags of 80-pound concrete, and you're just slinging 80 bags, or 80-pound bags just all day. That was the most lifting job, having to unload the truck and carry. So when we worked nights, the trucks would come in, and a lot of the time I had 3 departments to myself at the store. We were kind of understaffed. So I had millwork, lumber, and building materials, and I would have to load all that stuff myself, and I couldn't use a cherry picker without a spotter. So if I'm there by myself, I would have to get a pallet jack and move a pallet full of steel doors to the door aisle and carry the steel doors up the ladder and then put them on the top shelf by hand. It sucked, and I had to do that with like 40, 50 doors. So Lowe's, I was ripped when I finally left Lowe's. Claudio Bravi, thank you for we'll say $2. That's euros, right? Thank you for the €2. Yo, Brazen, stick around. Well, I mean, you're out now, but keep an eye out. I might hop on Rocket League a little later today. I'm going to be very, very rusty, but let's do it. But yeah, I've done a lot of labor jobs like that, but those 2 were definitely standouts. How's the Damasco watch doing? I love the Damasco. People, when I bought that, they said that I was going to buy it and then turn around and sell it, but I still love that watch a lot. And the best thing is I hated the bracelet because there's no quick adjust or micro adjust on the bracelet. It just sends you like long and short links for adjusting the clasp. And when I was bigger, I was carrying a lot of water weight, and my body size would fluctuate a lot, especially in my wrists. And I could never get used to that bracelet. It would be fine in the morning, and by night it was tight. And if I got really hot, it would get tight. And if I got cold, it would get loose. And now it just fits. So that's nice. Yeah, I did say Rocket League. Yeah. Thomas, I don't really play now. I would like to. So I've brought my gaming rig back to the office, and once I get set up in the other office, I'll be playing. Maybe I'll do Rocket League while I do these morning streams or something. Caleb, thanks for hanging out on this fine Monday morning. Enjoy work. Would I like to visit the UK? Yeah, the only time I've ever been overseas was for IFA, back when I did tech, and I went to Berlin. That was a lot of fun. I love Berlin. It's a really cool place. What knife am I carrying right now? Carrying the Guardian Tactical Recon 035 today. Come on. Come on. Yo, Guardian Tactical. OTF. I don't carry this very often, but I really like this knife. West Coast time is rough. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty early for you. Pretty early. Glad you could make it. But yeah, I'd like to get back into playing Rocket League regularly. I played pretty much every day for like 4 or 5 years. Really love Rocket League, and I've been missing it lately. Also, they're mowing right outside and weed eating literally right outside my door, so sweet. Next best suggestion for a Gerber dime would be a Leatherman Micra or a Leatherman Squirt. They're a little more expensive, but I think they're better than the dime. And if you want to stay in that same ballpark, this would be a nice splurge for him. The SOG Power Pint. It's $50. It's a little more expensive, but I think it's far more useful than the Gerber dime. Watch Collecting Strategy. Thank you for the $5. Keep up the great work, man. What is the knife in the thumbnail? My watch game is on point. Everything else, not so much. That is the Homer Zhu T-Rex. It's a custom out of China. I've talked about it. I talked about it in my top 10 most carried knives video. Mike Joseph just picked up the Civivi Nox after seeing your video. Hands down, best knife in that price range. Thanks again. Yeah, I agree. And I'm not sure if it's number 10. The way that they spell it, I feel like it could be number 10, but I don't know. What was my highest rank in comp in Rocket League? I think my highest rank ever was Champ 2. It's been a very long time since I played, so I'm probably like plat now at best. Fun seeing Casper Tech on stream. We had some good PUBG games there for a bit. Bro, I miss PUBG. I loved PUBG, but I was just really bad at it. Really bad at PUBG. I used to be really good with like first-person shooters, and I have none of that now. I'm so bad at games. I've become old. Thanks for hanging out, TC. And I'll email you back a little bit later. Smiling Beard, has the cigar smoking gone to the wayside? Not really. I smoke maybe one cigar a week at most. And the reason for that is because of the weight loss, right? I'm trying to stay on top of that, and I'm on a pretty big deficit, so I don't have a lot of extra calories in my budget. And when I smoke a cigar, I also like to drink whiskey, and I don't like smoking a cigar without whiskey. So I could drink coffee with it, but I always smoke cigars at night. So yeah, it's just, I don't do it as much, and I don't have the time. Since Flynn was born, I don't have nearly as much time to do it socially, and I don't really enjoy smoking a cigar by myself as much as I do hanging out with somebody. So that's really it. It's not anything specific. Belt recommendation. So that you're going to get that in the video this week, but it's the one I'm currently wearing, which is, I like two belts. They're not leather. I really like leather belts, but I've been off the leather belt train for a while. They're both technically gun belts, but I would not say one of them is adequate for a gun belt. The Core Essentials gun belt, those are really cool, really rigid, great for that. But the one I'm wearing now is the Groove Life belt, I think is what it's called. It's elastic. I really like this belt a lot with a magnetic clasp. What are your secrets on how to dress more manly? To not worry about being manly and just dress, I guess. How did I get that arc hat? Mark sent it to me a long time ago. Tyler Hudgens. Hey, Taylor, sorry if you already talked about this. Any deals caught your eye on the Knife Day sales? I haven't looked at any, so I don't know. We were both bad at PUBG. That made it more fun. That's probably true. Man, I wish I could be good at a game like PUBG. It's so much fun. I love the idea of PUBG, and I'm just so bad. Could we get a pocket dump? Sure. So I had the SOG PowerPoint in my back pocket. The Guardian Tactical Recon 035 was in my front pocket, as well as this wallet, which is a Hubei 2.0, but it's special and I can't talk about it too much. I have this, which is the Magnus or Cogent Industries ridged slider, I think is what it's called. Ripple, I don't know. But this is like just a little magnetic fidget thing. CWF Micro Arcadian for the flashlight. TI Mini Click for the pen. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole carry, and then my keys. Oh, and the watch is an Apple Watch SE. Cigars and low carb can get rough. It really can. Yeah. I mean, if I smoked a cigar right now, having barely eaten carbs for the last 2 days, I would probably get super lightheaded. Blue Alpha Gear belts are awesome. Haven't tried them. Are there any states in USA with knife laws as strict as the UK? No, because spoons are illegal in the UK. Those are dangerous spoons. There was a time in the Discord where we were memeing on UK knife laws, and it was great. It was great. Did I suggest a multi-tool for under €100? I don't know the translation. Like, I know approximately that's like a little over $100, I believe. Units, €100 to US dollar, 116. Yes, you could try the Leatherman Curl. That thing is nice, but let's see, around €100 I would say the Leatherman Free P2. I like it. Some people don't. The Leatherman Wave, if you'd prefer something that's not magnetic like that. Hello there, fan from India. Thank you. Wow, India. That's a long way away, man. Joel Bradley says, thank you for answering my questions. I have to quit slacking and get ready for work. Have an awesome rest of the day. You as well. Enjoy your work day. Hope it goes by fast. Nick, good seeing you. Taylor, looking good, dude. I'm off to work. Good day, lads. Thank you for hanging out as well, and thank you. You haven't played Knifey Spoony? I can't find a Refine EP1 on Amazon anymore. They pulled them off Amazon shortly after I did my video on it, and I think it's because maybe I overwhelmed them with sales on it. I don't know, but they disappeared from then, and they've not really been back. I think they went to direct sales. Someone did a TikTok meme about forks being illegal in Canada. Just bought the Mac 2 from McNeese Custom Knives. I really want to try a Mac 2. I love the way it looks. But for me, the reason I haven't really pulled the trigger is because it reminds me of like a chunkier version of this right here. And I love this knife. And I just figured, like, they're a little different, but I feel like I would just carry this over the Mac 2, but I don't know. One-hand opening knives only got legalized in Australia in 2015. Wow. I've carried one-hand opening knives basically my entire life. Photosynthesis says, hello, I'm 13 and getting into EDC. I do not have any top quality gear and expensive gear. My current EDC consists of a Right in the Rain pen, SOG PowerPoint, iPhone 12, Olight i3T EOS, and a Gerber. Nothing wrong with that at all. You're 13 and your carry's better than mine was when I was 13. My carry when I was 13 was some cheap department store wallet and probably some Gerber or Kershaw knife. Same with the PowerPoint. Can't seem to find one online anymore after your video featuring that little guy. I don't think I have that much pull, guys. I think that maybe the PowerPoint is just low in production or maybe being phased out or something. I don't know. I don't think I have that much pull. Right? No. You can't blame me for that one. Daniel Dimper's Metal Complex has a good video on blade centering and has worked for me multiple times. I'm sure he does, but so do I. No, I'm kidding. I love Dick. He's a really good guy. Oh, here comes the weed eater. They're getting closer. Fortunately, this is a really good mic. You can hear them now. Oh, they are right there. We'll just wait. Oh, it's not a weed eater. It's a leaf blower. Thank you, sir. Benny says PowerPoint versus Skeletool. I've had both. I've had multiple Skeletools. I think I like the PowerPoint a little bit better. The pliers are better on the Skeletool, but this has more tools in it. I think I like this a little better. And the only thing about the Skeletool that I don't like now is that it has that carabiner clip that is also a bottle opener. That's like, to me, a lot of wasted space. Too bad Jeremy couldn't grab that soundbite. What soundbite? What did I say? Will I be releasing the Swiss Army knife with topo scales? Yes, I will, for sure. I just don't know when. I think they're in production, but I don't know. I am supposed to have an update call about that. I was supposed to last week, actually, and that didn't happen. So I probably need to do that today. How do I score one of those brass front fives? Good luck. There were only 40 made, I think. 42, something like that. Are we going to get another whiskey knife fight soon? I answered that earlier. We're trying, but we are both insanely busy right now. Alex Bogg, thank you for the 15-something. I don't know what that is. What is that? What currency is that? Israel knife laws, so... Israeli currency. I don't know what that is. But thank you nonetheless. Israel knife laws are the worst. They're worse than UK. All knives are illegal unless you can provide a good purpose for carrying a knife. You got trouble, even slip joint. That's rough. Oh, Jeremy, I said I loved you. Well, that is his name. Makes it a little tricky, doesn't it? Yeah, that's really rough about Israel. Dang, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Daniel, hey, I'm so sorry. I've only saw your video after his and only tried his before. Didn't want to speak on something I haven't tried before. No, it's okay. I think we talked about the same trick. What was his trick for blade centering? Mine was loosening the pivot and then loosening the scales and applying pressure in the direction you want the blade to move. Actually, in the opposite direction because the blade's 180'd. Anyway, was it the same? Like basically loosening all the screws and trying to center it as you tighten? New Israeli shekel. Okay. I've never seen that symbol before. I like the symbol. It's cool. Swiss Army knife with topo scales. What the what? Yeah, it's a mini champ. So I'm doing a mini champ with not really OD green. We went back and forth on the color a lot. The first one they sent me was lime green. And I'm like, bro. This is you make OD green knives and you're going to send me a lime green knife. So the second one they sent was more hunter green, but it's green, so I'm happy. Green topo mini champ. Been loving the EDC news in your videos. Thanks. I'm really trying to get better with the news. It's hard to find all the news. I talked about this in the Discord a little bit. It's hard to find all the news because there are so many. One, there's so many verticals to EDC, and there are so many subgenres and subcultures and private groups and everything. And obviously, I'm not trying to dig into private groups and announce things that are privy to those private groups, but a lot of information is just so fragmented across EDC. Somebody was making fun of me for asking for people to submit news, but the thing is, I stay very busy, and I can't keep my eye on everything. There's just so much happening in so many different places that I have to rely on you guys to tell me what's happening a lot of the time. I find some things, but it's easier if I can crowdsource the news and then, condense it to what's important. So I have a link on my website. I think I can actually show you this. Can we do this? Yeah. Okay. Actually, that's not going to work. Hold on one second. Got to move this down a little bit. There we go. So on my website, if you go to submit, you can submit a tip and then fill out your name, email, the product name. I'm going to have to update this form, but basically fill out this description and tell me what's going on, if there's a drop happening or a big sale or anything like that, and you can let me know, and then it'll make it into the video. And I'm going to update the form with more information, and you can tell me who you are beyond this, like if you have an Instagram or something, and I'll thank people for the info. Guillermo Salas, second baby on the way. Any advice on keeping time to make your own stuff? It's really tough in the very beginning. Really tough because, frankly, you're consumed, right? So you still have to take care of the first child. I don't know how old your first child was. When my second was born, my first child was a little over 18 months. So still very young. And then the second child comes, so we've still got to take care of this one, and this one's super needy, and we basically had to one-on-one, like man versus man defense on the kids, and it kept us both very busy. And I would say only around the 5-month mark did we start settling into being okay, not being just exhausted and mad at each other all the time for no reason other than just being sleep deprived. Right, so we finally started getting into a groove. I'd say it's actually closer to 4 months. Don't expect to do much of anything other than dedicate your time to your kid for 4 months. And then after that, they're starting to get a little better. They can start crawling and getting around and not being so needy, and then you can start to focus on some other things in the time after they go to sleep, right? If your child sleeps through the night. We've been blessed with 2 kids who sleep through the night really well most of the time. So they go to bed pretty early, and I go to bed pretty late. So I've got 4 or 5 hours after they go to bed to do what I need. That's when I end up going to the gym, which I miss working out in the mornings, but that's when I go to the gym. Sometimes I work on edits. Sometimes I plan out videos. Sometimes I just go sit on my back porch and smoke a cigar. But it's important to find that time for you. And Alex and I have come up with something that really works for us is when the kids go to bed, we'll hang out for just a little bit and then we go our separate ways. She likes to hang out in the bedroom, play games on her phone, read, listen to podcasts, and I like to watch TV, go to work. I like to do different things. So we've sectioned in time for us individually to do what we want or need. And yeah, but we stay very busy now. Andrew Arnold said I was actually able to center my PM2 without loosening the pivot, but I did use the rest of your method. I had to adjust my PM2 a lot. Yeah, PM2s for me have been pretty left or right of center, but I've always swapped the scales on them, so I can't really blame Spyderco for that. It's probably more of a scale thing than the Spyderco thing. Do I smoke cigars often like Jeremy Sires? I have like one cigar a week, if that. Maybe two if I'm, I got a lot of downtime, which doesn't happen. Jeremy smokes like 4 cigars a day, so no. Kids are now 4 and 7. It gets easier. Yeah, I can already see it getting easier now. Like the kids that we have are playing together now a little bit. Eleanor is helping with Flynn because she's getting old enough to where she can start to help a little bit. Yeah, things are easing up a little bit. But we also want like 1 or 2 more kids. So we're not out of the woods yet. I am still alive. Yeah, I'm hanging out. Hanging out. What time is it? Dang, it's almost lunchtime. I'll hang out till it's time to eat. Don't know if it's ever been mentioned, what does Alex do? She takes care of our children, which is a full-time job. Are there any knives you're on the hunt for right now? No, not really. I'm pretty content with my collection. I have about everything I want. I always keep an eye on the Discord and see what's in the classifieds and try things out. But for now, no, I'm pretty happy. I do need to try and figure out what knife I'm taking backpacking. Not sure what that's going to be yet. Should I take the Gungnir? Is Renegade still in here? Should I take the Gungnir? God, no. This thing's half a pound. Thanks for the words. Love your channel. Greetings from Mexico. Yeah, I hope it helps, man. It's tough. There's not really much advice I can give for the first few months of having a second kid. Sleep when you can. I know that's something people always say. It's true. Sleep as much and as often as you can. Sleep when the kid sleeps. And just don't forget to take a little bit of time for you. But yeah, it's tough, but obviously very worth it. Wouldn't be if we were not trying to have more kids. We're not trying, but planning on having more kids. What is my cigar of choice? Well, I've got a humidor full of cigars. It's an easy answer for me to say what my favorite is. Liga Privada number 9. I love those. I bought a half box. I split a box with a friend of Liga Privada number 9s. But there was also one called Trail Mix from Buenaventura from an LCA drop. Really loved the Trail Mix. That's one of my favorites. The Murder Hornet, also from LCA. Really good. Those 3. And then there was one. There was a sun-grown Habano from Perdomo. Those are pretty good too. But yeah, I'm into like little lighter cigars. Definitely not full-bodied. Medium-bodied at most. But Liga Privada number 9 is still to date my favorite cigar. I also had... It was rare. A friend of mine gave it to me. It was a rare cigar, and it was really good. I want to say it was AJ Fernandez. What is the rare cigar from them? See if I can find it real quick. I'm not going to look too long. Was it Opus X? I think it's what it is. Yeah, Opus X Lost City. Fuente Opus X. Yeah, okay. It's not AJ Fernandez. It's Arturo Fuente. Fuente Opus X was given to me by a friend. That sucker was great. Really great. Am I a Hinderer fan? I like them. I don't necessarily have ones that I carry right now. I have a couple that I like, but I don't really carry them. But yeah, I like Hinderer. Did I decide if I'm picking up another chronoscope? Yeah, I really would like another Young Hands chronoscope, but I'm not going to buy one right now. I've got too many other things to focus on. TPK Raptor or your T-Rex knife. I have a TPK mid-sized Raptor, but it's a really, really thick blade, and it's a really small knife. I'd like something a little bit longer, like Bradford Guardian 3. That might be what I end up taking. Sorry for being late, was blowing stuff up. Okay. Hopefully we don't hear any news about a Josh having blown things up. You go backpacking with your donkey? That is amazing. That is amazing. I was seriously thinking about bringing this backpacking. Still considering it. Also, what is that on the scale? It looks really brown in my monitor. But in person, I don't see that brown spot right there in the middle. I don't see that brown spot in person. Yeah, CPM M4, Gale Bradley 2 with micarta scales. This could be a really good one for the trail. I would like a fixed blade, but also wouldn't mind a folding. I don't think I'm bringing 2 knives. If I want to go super light, it's probably going to be this Dragonfly or the M4 bug out that I have. Work with explosives, so it's all legit. Good to know. Have I handled anything Magna Cut blade steel yet? I have not. No. I would have picked up a Magna Cut CRK at Blade, but they went pretty fast and were not cheap. Why not go with something more basic if you got like a Cold Steel Recon 1? I don't really care for cold steel knives, and that's a big bulky knife, I think. I don't think that's what I'm going to take. Bring a blade to feather stick, baton, make fire. Fixed blade is nice, so you can do a ton of things. Yeah, I mean, I've got a few knives that I can take. I'm not sure which one I'm going to take. Bark River and LT Wright make the best fixed blades, in my opinion. I've not had either. But I want to try a Winkler. He's local, like local-ish, and I just like his work. Oil up that M4. Yeah, I know. It'll rust. No rust yet. It is starting to patina just a little bit. Surprisingly, to many of you, there's a little bit of rust, it looks like, in the pivot area. Might have to flitz it and then oil it. Might just be gunk. It's probably food. Actually, no, that's rust. Yeah, that's rust. Just in the pivot area. It's just a blank wall behind the camera, really. Just a whitewashed wood wall and some video equipment. He can pack up to 100 pounds, and you can see why I bring him. Yeah, wow, that's a lot. I am not a neck knife guy. Yeah, Winkler also makes nice axes. So I think all of these are contenders, except for this one. This one I just wanted to show you. So this is a BMKT Father Hunter. This thing is a tank, a big knife. I think it's too big to take backpacking, but this thing would be really nice to have. It's going to be my camp knife. I'm going to keep this one in the trailer or the Overlander. But I have a BMKT EDC 1. Probably not the best one to take backpacking. The BMKT Ember. This one would be probably a pretty good backpacking knife. Come on. There we go. I think this one is in AEBL. This one's either AEBL or I don't remember. I don't remember the blade steels. Might be Nitro V. I have the TPK midsize Raptor. Really sweet little knife, but I don't know if it's big enough. I mean, it could be. It's definitely light. Really light. Slap this one on my belt. Yeah, this is a sweet knife. It's a really sweet knife. That the burlwood handles. Come on, stupid camera. If it sees any hint of a face, it wants to focus on my face. Those burlwood handles are so sick. G10 liners. Strap it on my back and run with it. Nice scout straps on that. Yeah, Jonathan, we need to talk about these. Just saying. And then we have ultralight. This could be the one. The Pena X series. Come on. Pena X series. This thing is tiny, but it could be very handy. And it only problem is it comes in this leather slip. What is my camera doing? That's the only problem with that one. Then we got the GMF1 from Giant Mouse Knives. If I can turn it around. Come on. Never had so much trouble focusing this thing. I think my focus point got shifted or something. Got the GMF1 in a leather pocket sheath. We also have, this one I struggle with. The blade gets recessed way too far down into the handles on this. I have to use something to pry it out. You'll Opinel number 6 in Inox. Enox. This is I could take this. It's super light. Super light. I don't think I'm going to take this. Let me see if the camera is off. Not off, but... And that's why I couldn't get it to focus. It was trying to focus on the microphone. Small bushcrafting tasks. Yeah, so I'm basically just going backpacking. We're not going to need a ton of stuff. Pena too tiny to be the only backpack knife. Yeah. But this could be it. See, now I can focus. This beaver tail, it's a big knife. It is technically a slip joint, but it has a liner lock too. You can see that. It is not stainless, but it is sweet. God, I love this knife. Yeah, I've got options, and then I have the M4 bug out. So I could take the M4 bug out and a small fixed blade. Because this thing's 2 ounces. I don't know. This one would be good for food prep, but I mean, we're not cooking food. We're just reconstituting freeze-dried meals. So I probably don't need too many things in the way of a knife. Something for processing wood, most likely. I feel like you should go with a Bradford Guardian or that beefcake of a BMKT. I don't know where my Guardian is. Where is my Bradford? It wasn't in the cabinet. I don't know where my Bradford is, but I forgot about this. This could actually be the knife. I forgot that I had this. This is the Travax Trek knife. Is that what it's called? It's a good size. It's skeletonized. It's S35 VN. Super light, strong enough and big enough to baton with on small. Like I could split wood and feather. That might be it. It's not my favorite knife, but it would be really good for backpacking. I might acid wash it before I go. Bring a felling axe. I have a cold steel axe. We're going backpacking though. I don't need to fell a tree. Only thing about this one is this sheath kind of sucks. There's no retention on it. It does have this clip, snap. I wonder if there's like an aftermarket sheath for it, or if they sell a new sheath. I don't see anything for it. I don't think it's popular enough to have Kydex and Trek field knife. Oh, that's Kydex. I don't think it's popular enough to have an aftermarket. Maybe I'll email them. Crew wear fixed blade Adamas. I do have a full size Adamas and a mini Adamas. This thing would be a really good knife though. It's heavy though. That's the only thing. But it's a big stout blade. So what if I brought these two? I think these two, having these two knives is lighter than this one knife. I don't know. I got to figure all this stuff out. I will be doing a video before we go backpacking of what I'm taking backpacking. I'm going backpacking in Linville Gorge. Which BO is that one? I don't know what you mean. All right, thanks for hanging out, Mitch. Take care as well. QVO's new carry knife would be a good one. Get like a light knife with a good steel. Well, that's the idea. That would be this, right? M4 steel, very lightweight, but couldn't baton with this. So the idea is to find the perfect backpacking knife, which honestly is probably this S35 skeletonized, great size, really slicey. The sheath sucks, but I could probably get by with that. Can I show the backpack I'm using? Yeah, I'll be doing like a full bag dump before we go into the woods, for sure. So the whole point behind this backpacking trip, I might talk more about it. We were going to hold a competition and bring somebody along with us, like one of you guys. But I don't think we're going to do that because we're kind of a time crunch and we just want to get everything planned out. But maybe in the future, I'll do that where like I'd have one or two or three of you come along for a backpacking trip and we provide all the gear. You just show up. But for me, the last time I went backpacking, which was the first time I went backpacking, my pack was too big and too heavy. I was loading a bunch of camera equipment too, which I didn't need all of it, but I was overweight, out of shape. I didn't know what I was doing, and everything was just a recipe for disaster, and I thought I had planned enough for it. I didn't. It wasn't even a bad backpacking trip. We planned on hiking like 5 to 10 miles and mostly just camping, and it was still a fail. So the guy I went with got sick the first night we were there, and yeah, it was bad. So the idea is for the next time to make better. I want to push myself. I want to hike a long way and really, really challenge myself to see how much better I am than I was then and how much more adept. I'm not really adept, but like prepared and capable. We are going to do hammock camping for the backpacking trip. I bought all the hammock stuff last night. Got my new stove. I have not done any of the Appalachian Trail, but the idea is that this is going to be my first trial run. Testing some gear, trying out a few things, and then in a few years, I want to through hike the Appalachian Trail. This skull here, so there's a ram skull off to the side, like it's right here from the camera, but for some reason it looks like I'm pointing back. And then the ram skull was on this wall. The guy who owns the building gave it to me. I put it up there and it was too small, and he said, go get my Watusi, and I put that up there instead. So Watusi and a ram skull in here. We're not starting with an 80-mile hike, but I would definitely like to. I think this one we're doing like 15 miles, and the bulk of that is in one day, but it's like serious elevation gains. Like we're doing a 3-mile in camping, 10 to 12 miles out, and then I think that's it. What is it? Yeah, so it's like 3 miles in camping because we're not leaving until midday on Friday. And then hiking 10 or 12 miles, camping, and then it's like a 3 to 5 mile hike out. The win a backpacking trip with Taylor idea is so sick. We'll probably do that in the future, but this time I just want to get out there myself and not worry about too much. Yeah, so I'm going ultralight. Not ultralight. I'm not like ounce counting, but the first time I went, I think my pack was in excess of 60 pounds. And to be fair, like 10 to 15 pounds of that was camera equipment. I'm not doing that this time, but I don't think I would mind splurging on a good knife. And it may not be a knife that I currently own. I might have to source a new knife. That's totally fine. But I think the Bradford Guardian 3 is probably perfect, the perfect combination of size and weight. I don't know where it is right now. It might be in this bag or at home somewhere, but it's not here. Yeah, 60-pound pack was not great. And when I went backpacking that time, I didn't know that I had scoliosis. So big, heavy pack, not like really weak lower back muscles. It was really, really bad. Like it was only a mile hike out. It was really steep because it was a mountain bike trail, and it was kind of like it would ramp up to one of the jumps for the mountain bikes. So the hike down wasn't so bad. It was steep at parts, but the hike out, we had to walk up this incline that was actually a ramp. So at some points it was almost vertical, and then it would taper off and come up again. So the hike out was only a mile and a half, but it was awful with me having a really hurt back and being so out of shape. I was really out of shape. Was not prepared for any of that. So this time I'm shooting for like a 30, 35-pound pack. At most 35 pounds. Yeah, the 60-pound pack, I was not carrying a lot of lightweight stuff. I had I think a full-sized bear can in there, which I didn't really need. I was not very smart about it at all. I had like 4 knives. Did I ever scale swap on the Bradford? No, I have broken 4 sets of bits from Bradford. I cannot get the screws on there undone. I have heated them up with a heat gun. I've tried so many things, a soldering iron, to try and get those custom screws out of the handles. Can't do it. I just have the scales sitting around, but I have not swapped them. When did the stream start? 10 a.m. Monday mornings. Every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Unless I'm out of town, I will be streaming. But yeah, the idea is that while this trip, like my trainer, the guy I hired to get me fit, also does these backpacking trips, and he asked me what I wanted to accomplish this time, and I said I want to prove to myself that I'm, better than I was 2 years ago or 4 years ago, whenever it was I went, and I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself, and I want to enjoy this, but I want it to also be a bit of a challenge. So, in an ideal situation, I will get out there and it won't be a challenge at all. That'd be great. I don't think that's going to be the case because it's still very new to me, and I'm going to be using muscles that I've not used just going through daily life. But the ideal situation would be that I get out there and it's just like, oh, this was easy. Let's do a harder one next time. What's really probably going to happen is that it's going to be exactly the kind of challenge I want, in that I'm better than I was, in better shape and better prepared, and there's still a bit of a challenge to it. And I think I will really, really enjoy. All right, it has been 2 hours and 1 minute, almost 2 minutes. So thank you guys for hanging out. I'm going to go eat lunch. I'm really hungry. And we're going to do this again next Monday, 10 a.m., same place, if I'm not camping. If I'm camping, then I'll do it some other time. But if I don't go camping, I'll see you next Monday. If I do go camping, probably the following Monday. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and chatting. It's been fun, and we'll see what happens. Maybe I do it again. Maybe I Twitch stream some Rocket League later. That could be fun. Hell, that sounds like a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. See you guys.